Hello viewers, today I'm going to show you how to replace your roof vents in your RV. Simple, easy, save 250 bucks or more. I'll tell you about that later. I'll put a link to all the things I'm going to use in the description. Pay no attention to this. I cut this so that I could tie this down. These are older. They need replaced. They don't really work as good. And I'm going to do this one in here. It's a 12 volt in the restroom. It's simple. You're just going to take the wires, disconnect the wires, and reconnect them the same way you took them off. I'm going to replace this one too. It's not working. I'll just show you one, probably this one. Obviously the other one wouldn't have a fan, so you would bypass just rehooking this up. This is simple and easy. Anybody can do it. I've got two of them, like I said, and we're going to start out by removing the screws up here somewhere, yeah, and we'll get this started. As you can see, you remove those 4 screws and your shroud comes down. You can reuse that if you want to. And then here's what you got. You're going to take these screws out, and it's going to free up your vent. Very simple. So you unscrew these. There's one on each corner. I apologize for the wiggling camera. At this point, it's just me filming and working. Just unscrew these, all 4 of them. As you can see, I'm doing the other vent too. I got 3 of these 4 out on these screws, and this shroud will just come down when I get the 4th one out. And you can see this is where this is wired in. You're just going to unscrew these caps, and when you put your new fan in there, you're going to screw black back into this one, white back into this one, same way they come off. And then here's your switch one. So you've got 3 total. You're just going to put them back the way they come off. Whatever comes off this is going to go back on this. Very simple. And there was one other screw hid up here in this shroud. See if I can show it to you. Would have been up in there. Just take it off and this drops down. Again, like I said, I'm going to put this stuff up on links in the description. But as you can see, here's a straight vent. There's the vent with the fan in it and the switch. These are new. Word of caution. This right here, this lip on this is sharp as a knife. Be careful with that. I've also got some putty, RV putty, and I've got some lap and non-sag, or I should say non-sag and self-leveling Dicor. Either one will work fine. If you're flat, you want to use the self-leveling. If you're going to be on a ridge or up on a little bump or hump or something, I prefer the non-sag. You can use either one. I just got one of both. You're going to need a scraper, a drill, maybe a knife, and just some patience. Okay, you're going to take a putty knife, razor knife, whatever means you have. Even a chisel, as long as you're up on the metal part, which is the first inch or so. You're going to expose these bolts, remove this caulking and expose these screws and take them out all the way around. Right in here. I'm only using the chisel because I'm on the metal cowling that I'm removing. I wouldn't do the chisel out here. Just get under here, start exposing any screws. It's easier. You can also use this razor blade, whatever. Just don't use that out here on the roof. You can use this. A metal one would probably be better. And you're just going to expose this cowling so that you can get the screws exposed to take out. Okay, to my surprise, there is no bolts holding this down, or screws I should say. Most of them have it. This is made in early 2000s, so in that case you're just going to cut around, going in, cut around the metal shroud, pull and pry, expose and make sure you don't have any bolts or nuts, which I don't. Expose around it and start prying it up and cutting it free. That's what you're gonna have to do here. See how this is coming up? Actually easier. I bought one with screws to go back in, and that's probably what I'll use. Look at that. It's actually simpler, simply because I don't have to dig out all the screws. Just make sure you cut around so you don't rip your roof. And don't worry, you're going to have some good adhesive caulking going back on, so you're not going to do any damage. Look at that. That's even easier than having to dig out the screws. So as you can see, we've about got this out already. This has been like 1 minute in real time. There you go, folks. That's up. That's off. Just going to clean this mess up a little bit around here so I can put some more putty around it, and we'll be in business and hook this up. I didn't disconnect it because I want to reconnect it the same way, but look how simple that is. By the way, in case you're wondering, a private RV mechanic that's a half mile from me wanted $250 to replace 2 vents. I also called a mom and pop store, camper store that has 2 stores. They wanted $275 to $3.50. And the mother of all is the big giant, the camper store that's nationwide. I won't mention their name, but camper something, you know what I mean. They wanted $535 to replace these 2 vents. And I let them all know that I had all the parts. They just needed the labor. I just wanted to see what it was going to cost. So this is crazy. Do it yourself. It's simple as you see. Like I said earlier, folks, these edges are sharp. See what I mean? Be careful. Okay, see, as you can see, the white wire is going to connect to here. The black wire is already connected to the on-off button, so it bypasses that step, so it'll connect to here. And an important note, you want to take and lift it just a hair to find where it's going to lift from. This is the hinge side. So the way it sets right now, here's the back of the RV. That's the front of the RV. When this is cranked open, you want it to open like this. You want it to open looking to the back of the RV. So if you should take off and forget to put it down, it'll force it down. To where if you had it open to the front and you took off, the wind would blow it right off and rip it right off. So make sure you have the hinge section toward the front of the RV. Okay, this is crimped on, so here's the white out of the old fan, here's the white out of the new fan. It's going into this wire right here. But like I said, just replace the wire for wire in your rig and you'll be fine. That's all you got to do. Just cut that off. Pull a little bit out. Run these 2 together. And get you a little wire nut or something. I'm going to wire nut it and electrical tape it. But get you one that's a proper size. This one right here is probably not big enough. Actually it is, I believe. nice and tight in there. Now I'm going to run some electrical tape. And then we're going to do the same with the black one over here. And you can see I got them both together. I'm just going to put some electrical tape. Can't overdo it. And before you go putting this thing in, turn on your you should have had your 12 volt disconnected and your power. So turn the 12 volt on down there, Brandon. All right. Now we're going to see if this works before we put it all together. There you go. So now we're gonna put some putty tape around here. Don't have to worry about cleaning this too much. People overdo it. That's what the putty tape's for. Give a good, it'll smush just perfect. Don't overdo this. I mean, if you're real bad, you can clean some of it off. I'm gonna get a little bit of this off, put the putty tape on here, and then we're gonna be ready to put this in. See, I got this vent installation kit. It's got the screws in it, and it's got this it's like putty. And we're just going to run this around here. You probably can't see it, viewers, but it's about to pour down like a monsoon behind us. And we're just going to put this on here, because we're also going to caulk this. I pick great times to do things, don't I, guys? Like making a long video talking about something after I just choked down a whole bowl of popcorn and could barely breathe. Filming at night instead of in the bright daylight. But hey, you guys watch my videos and I appreciate you understanding. So we're going to do this all the way around, and then we'll be back with you. And like I said, you just run that tape. I did have a spot that was excessively high right there, and I removed it. But don't overthink this. Remember the hinge, which is right there. It's going to go toward the front of the RV. And this is going to slide in, supposedly. And then we're going to attach it. And then we're going to caulk it and put screws on it. See, folks, I'm a class act. Look out there, it's pouring down raining up there on the roof. I mean, it's pouring down raining. It hadn't rained like this in months up here in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, it rains here, but this is pouring down rain. I ain't even got the thing attached. It's just setting in there. Okay, viewers, I had to pause the video yesterday because of a rainstorm that lasted most of the day, so this is the next day. As you can see, I laid this down on the caulking and I put all the screws around it. I did put a piece of the Eternal Bond, the tape up there, but that was for a different reason, just kind of a backup for me, for something else. We will caulk around all this real good. And remember when I said that these, I was looking for the screws? Well, this one, the old one, didn't have it because it had those 4 long 6-inch screws on the inside that we took out. Well, and this one, the screws are out here, which I prefer. So those 6-inch ones won't be going back around. That's pretty much it on that. We'll get this caulked up and we'll pretty much be done. We're just going to get this turn a bond going here. This is self-leveling, so it'll find itself to level. I'm going to go around everything. We're also going to come back and get the screw holes where the bolts are, or the screws, I mean. Just going to get this all on here real good. Can't overdo this. I'll finish this up and be back with you. There you can see we put plenty of die-core around it. Now we'll just go back in and put the shroud up, screw it in, and we are done. Alright, guys and gals, that's all I got for you today. As always, I appreciate you watching. Share and subscribe if you would, and we'll see you next time.